Today, we're going to uncork the story of a true visionary, a man who looked at an entire continent's worth of tradition and said, we can do that too. And, well, he ended up changing the world of wine forever. Back in the middle of the 20th century, if you even asked this question, you'd get laughed out of the room. Seriously, the world of fine wine, that was Europe's game. France, Italy, Spain, they had centuries of history in every single bottle. And California, that was a place for, sunshine and movies, not world-class wine. American wine just wasn't even in the same league. People saw it as simple, something you bought in a big jug. It was seen as just a pale imitation of the real stuff from Europe. The idea that a bottle from California could stand shoulder to shoulder with a legendary Bordeaux, it was completely unthinkable. And this, right here, is where our story really kicks off. It starts with a man named Robert Mondavi. He had this radical, crazy vision. He truly believed that California could produce wines that would rival the absolute best in the world. So in 1966, at an age when most people are thinking about slowing down, he set out to prove everyone wrong. Okay, so to really get the scale of his ambition, we first have to understand the mountain he had to climb. This wasn't just about making a good bottle of wine, it was about completely changing a global mindset. I mean, just look at the contrast here. It's so stark. On one side, you've got European wine. It screams prestige, history, tradition. And on the other side, American wine was basically known for jug wine. Cheap, cheerful, but absolutely not world-class. Mondavi wasn't just trying to enter a market, he was fighting a massive reputation problem. So, every great story has that moment that pushes the hero out the door, right? For Robert Mondavi, that push came from a very, very personal place, his own family. So Mondavi's story really starts with his Italian immigrant roots, which means wine was just part of life. In 1943, the family made a huge move. They bought the historic Charles Krug winery in Napa. But inside the family, a storm was brewing. Robert was the ambitious one. He wanted to push for world-class quality. His brother, Peter, wanted to play it safe. Things got so heated that in 1965, after a massive fight, Robert was forced out. Just like that, he was on his own. And this quote, this tells you everything about his mindset. He wasn't just trying to start another little business. No, he was on a mission. It just captures the sheer scale of his dream, not just to make good wine, but to make wine that could go head-to-head on the world's biggest stage. So there he is, 53 years old, with this incredible vision, but no winery to his name. He sets out to build his dream right there in the heart of Napa Valley. And he had a plan, a blueprint for how to do it. First up, land. He got a piece of what he knew was some of the best ground in Napa, the legendary To Kalon vineyard. Step 2, technology. He brought in techniques that were new to California, like cold fermentation, which basically uses temperature control to keep all those fresh, delicate aromas in the wine. And third, tradition. He started using high-quality French oak barrels for aging, a classic old-world method that adds all this amazing complexity and structure. And he didn't just stop with what was in the bottle. The winery building itself, designed in that grand California mission style, was a huge statement. It wasn't just a factory for crushing grapes. It was built to be a destination, a center for art, food, and culture, a place where wine was just one part of a much bigger, richer experience. And this gets us to something that was absolutely crucial to his success. Mondavi knew that to sell world-class wine, you had to sell more than just the liquid. You had to sell a story, a philosophy, a whole lifestyle. Okay, so here's a perfect example of his genius at work. Back then, Sauvignon Blanc was a really tough sell in America. Nobody really wanted it. Nobody was paying good money for it. So what do? He completely rebranded it. He took the wine, aged it in oak, that classic French technique, and gave it this sophisticated, elegant new name, Fumé Blanc. Fumé is French for smoke, which was a little nod to its origins in France. It sounded classy, it sounded European, and boom, it was a massive hit. He didn't just sell a wine, he literally created a whole new category out of thin air. And all this marketing savvy was backed up by unbelievable quality. His Cabernet Sauvignon Reserve became the benchmark for what an elegant Napa Cab could be. His Fumé Blanc became an icon. And then there was Opus One, a groundbreaking partnership with the actual Baron Philippe de Rothschild of Bordeaux. It was a wine that basically symbolized the marriage of the old world and the new. But you gotta understand that for Mondavi, all of this, the tech, the marketing, the quality, it all served a higher purpose. He really truly believed that wine was meant to bring people together, to be a catalyst for enjoying life. His whole philosophy was about the big picture. He practically invented wine tourism in Napa, bringing together wine with amazing food, art, and music right there at his winery. He was way ahead of his time on sustainable farming, and he deeply believed in letting the land speak for itself, what the French call terroir. So, what's the lasting impact of this one man's incredible ambition? Well, it's nothing short of a full-blown revolution. In 2004, after some tough years, the family business was sold. And while that really marked the end of an era, it was nowhere near the end of his influence. The foundation he'd built was already set in stone. And this right here, this is the heart of his real legacy. He didn't just build a winery, he built an entire industry's reputation. He raised the quality bar for everyone. He helped turn Napa Valley from a quiet farm region into a global destination. And maybe most importantly, he proved once and for all that an American wine could absolutely compete with the world's best. And that fire, that passion for excellence, it didn't end with him. His legacy is alive and well through his family. His sons, Tim and Michael, are still producing incredible, world-class wines at their own amazing estates, like Continuum Estate and the Michael Mondavi family estate, carrying that torch into a new generation. Which kind of leaves us with this one last thought. Robert Mondavi's story really shows us that, building a company is about products and profits, but creating a legacy, that's about changing how people think. It's about inspiring a culture and building something that lasts long, long after you're gone.